Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Wow. Uh, man, isn't this? Anyway, first and foremost, call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and of course, double honors go out to the apostles, elders, and bishops. All right, great millstone. All right, who continue through the Holy Spirit to give us His truth. This is Nama of the DC camp. I first read this article I'm about to uh, go over here. Uh, when you get a little roller coaster of emotions because yeah, this is something this bitch ass Edomite would come out with um, because at heart he's a coward. Anyway, this is from CBS News. It says a Florida bill would bar businesses and schools from making anyone feel discomfort or guilt about race. Now, it's not just talking about anyone. Of course, they had to push it like that. Anyway, it says a bill pushed by Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis that will prohibit public schools and private businesses from making, here we go, so called white people feel discomfort when they teach students or train employees about discrimination in the nation's past received its first approval Tuesday. The state Senate Education Committee approved the bill that takes aim at critical race theory. This highlights what? What the apostles have always said. Keep this spiritual. All right. This truth is tearing that ass up. All right. Continuing on, it says, though it doesn't mention it explicitly along party lines, with Republicans in favor and Democrats opposed. Again, division. Democrats argue the bill isn't needed, would lead to frivolous lawsuits, and said it would amount to censorship in schools. Okay? Yeah. They ask, without success, for real life examples of teachers or businesses telling students or employees that they are racist because of their race. And see, it's been uh, many times it's been explained that this is not taught in anywhere K through 12th grade. So what the fuck are they talking about? They just don't like being exposed for the pieces of shit that they've always been. So you got to understand, America, the so-called white man in general, has always pushed this image that he's so pious about justice. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. That's what he projected out, you know, to the world, from the time of it. Because you got to remember before, and that's why they don't like to go into the so-called dark ages. All right. They like to talk about things like, the Greeks um, discovered Western society or some shit like that, or they don't go into it. It's just a blanket statement, or that the Dark Ages. It was a time of there was no enlightenment or some shit like that. Again, these are things that they do to disguise the fact that they're pieces of shit. And in fact, when you go into what is it, the protocols of the learned elders of Zion, I believe it's been a while since I read it, but when you go into those protocols, one of them, which I don't have it on hand right now, let me see. Let me see here. One of the protocols addresses this. Let me see. I think this is it. Hold on. Yes, I just happen to have it. There you go. Let me find it real quick. I had to dig a little bit for that. Let's see. Protocols. Let me get the. One, number 12, it says control the press, which they have done. The media is a huge weapon in their arsenal. Let's see. We shall change history, number 16, and they have. All right, let's see. Let's go to we shall change history, 16. Let's see. says 67. But I noticed some of these books, this one in particular, is off a little bit. So bear with me. Let's see. We shall forbid Hamashiach Yahushua. They've done that. So how can you say, for those of you that are doubters, that this books like this are not, let's see, we demand submission, are not true? All you have to do is ask yourself, have these things happen? Here it is, we shall change history. It says, classicism, as also any form of study of ancient history, just got one hand here, hold on, which there are more bad than good examples, talking about themselves, we shall replace with the study of the program of the future. We shall erase from the memory of men all facts of previous centuries which are undesirable to us, and leave only those which depict all the errors of the government of the Goyim. The study of practical life, of the obligations of order, of the relations of people one to another, of avoiding bad and selfish examples which spread the infection of evil, and similar questions of an educative nature will stand in the forefront of the teaching program. All right? And that's what they have done. That's all. This is one big lie, one big illusion. And when you try to tell people this is what's going on. This is why you have quote unquote COVID and all this other bullshit going on now, because the truth is tearing them up. They need a distraction. Another thing is going on is the money. What's that? So like I'm doing a couple of things here at once. What's the expression? Follow the money. You know, people have just gone brain dead lately. Not everybody, but enough that their agenda is ongoing, pressing forward. All right? That's what's happening. All right? So I had to ask myself also, well, why would somebody be concerned about the truth so much? Here it is, they push these lies, especially about our people. We're supposed to be Africans. We're supposed to have been swinging from trees. And when you read further down, I'll let this explain itself. You'll understand where I'm going. It says, they ask without success for real life examples. I already said that. This bill's not for blacks. This bill was not for any other race. This was directed to make whites not feel bad about what happened years ago, said State Senator Chevron Jones, who is so-called black. At no point did anyone say white people should be held responsible for what happened, but well, we are. Did they, what do they always say? Well, you commit the crime, you do the time. But that's only for everybody else, you see, because at the end of the day, they're hypocrites to the heart. At no point did anyone say white people should be held responsible for what happened. No, that's what he's saying. But what I would ask my white counterparts is, are you an enabler? Of what happened? Or are you going to say we must talk about history? I think you always got your answer, my man. You're just not paying attention or willing to admit. It says DeSantis held a news conference last month in which he called critical race theory crap, and said he would he would seek legislation that would allow parents to sue schools and sue employers if they were subject to its teachings. Well, hold on a minute. Wait a fucking minute. All these years, generations of our people's minds being fucked up from the bullshit that you taught them, you weren't concerned about their psyche. Now you see what hypocrite. That's why this man has got to go. And that's why, as I said, the apostles had always said, keep it spiritual. We don't have to resort to doing stupid shit. All right, 2 Corinthians 10 and 4 and 5. Let's go there real quick. There's truth. They can't handle the truth. All right, actually, because I want to keep that. Let's see. Let's go here. 2 Corinthians, as soon as it pulls up. Hold on. Alrighty. 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. And it says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds." What's those strongholds talking about? 5, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Those lies. Chiefly telling people that we are Africans, that we were never anything, we had no history. How was that supposed to play towards our ancestors' psyches? But oh, that's right. We're not you. But when it comes to you, oh no, we got to pass legislation now. Our children, you know, going into a hissy fit. It says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And that's exactly what's going on here. This place is wicked. Wicked. Wisdom of Solomon, 2nd chapter, will tell you. And bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. They'll front when you go to court. We raise your right hand and place your left hand on this Bible. And no. Well, sir, are you going to judge me by this? Well, sir, we have our, well, why do you have me swearing in on it? Does it not say in the scriptures, you should not swear by anything? So clearly you're unaware of what's in this book you want me to swear on. And then once I swear on it, which I'm not supposed to, then you're going to cast it to the side and bring out your bullshit by which you're going to judge me by. Wow. But our people just, la 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 la. I got a good job. I make good money. Blah, 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 blah. I pay a lot of taxes. I'm getting fucked. But I want to go back to what's normal. That's normal. Generation after generation and generation of being a slave and not realizing it. All right? Or at least not admitting to yourself that you are one. Wow. This is what you want to go back and continue this sort of existence. And that's just it. You're existing. You're not living. Continuing on, it says, DeSantis held a news conference last month in which he called, critical race theory crap. I just went on here talking about they could sue. Critical race theory is a way of thinking about America's history through the lens of racism. It was developed during the 1970s and 80s in response to what scholars viewed as a lack of racial progress following the civil rights legislation of the 60s. That's it. Because we've been stagnant. Actually, we've been stagnant since the Civil War. Yeah. We've been just treading water. This book I can't reach right now, but it's by Dr. Claude Anderson, and it's talking about dirty little secrets. All right, and it's 2 books, but in the first one it tells you exactly that from 1865, or is it in the 1860s? I just put it like that to 1990. We have not moved economically. You have just that illusion. That's what this place is good at, casting illusions. It said it centers on the idea that racism is systemic in the nation's. Yes, hell yes. It reeks of it. It's saturated with it. And that they function to maintain the dominance of white people. Exactly. That's what your police departments are here. They enforce segregation, amongst other things. Yes, they do. Their role really hasn't changed much since the patty rollers. All right. It says conservatives reject it, saying it is a worldview derived from Marxism that divides society by defining people as oppressors and oppressed based on their race. That's not entirely it. No. It's based on fact. Again, this is not theory. You have a people that have been the oppressed ever since they've been over here, and everybody that comes over is always put above them. That's scriptural. That's part of the curses. All right. Deuteronomy 28, 43 on down to 45. All right. So there you have it. It says they call it an attempt to rewrite American history. No, it make white people believe they are inherently. What do you mean rewrite American history? No, tell it the way it happened, and that's what these motherfuckers are afraid of. You're the one that's had control of the media. All right, you're the one that's written all the books, and it just so happened it was all bullshit. An attempt. Look at the fact with the Daughters of the American, not the DAR, from shit in the South. The Daughters, what is it? American Confederacy. I can't. Anyway, what they did in the South, they romanticized that shit, making themselves, who were the losers, all right, they made people sympathetic to their plight all through the South. There was a saying I grew up, and it's true, and it says the South lost the war, but they won everything else, and it's true. All right. So let's see. This is just a whole bunch of, hey, everybody's seeing me for the piece of shit I really am, and now I'm pissed off, I'm mad, there's nothing I can do about it. And that's right, nothing you can do about it. Because what's going to happen is going to happen. You're being exposed, my man, exposed. As CBSN Originals reported late last year, there is no evidence critical race theory is taught in K through 12. But some initiatives at the K-12 level are inspired by its tenets. The bill reads in part, an individual by virtue of his or her race or sex does not bear responsibility for actions committed in the past by other members of the same race or sex. Since when? Isn't that how you've always judged us? Every time we go into a store or anywhere else, all eyes are on us. So again, you're hypocrites. Continuing on, man. It says an individual should not be made to feel discomfort, guilt, anguish, or any other form of psychological distress on account of his or her race. Well, I agree. We've always said that, but no. Oh, no, 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 no. You see, how do you even try to get into that? Wow. I mean, the audacity of these fucking Edomites, these so-called white people. The fucking audacity. It says the bill, SB 148, is called individual freedom. I mean, why don't you call it I'm a weasel or whatever, Please. I'm still trying to wrap my... Wow. After all the shit this motherfucker has done, attacked us at every angle. I mean, came at us every way you can possibly consider. And now because his feelings are hurt because he's being exposed for the piece of shit that he actually is, the rape, robber, and murderer. I mean, wow. He says Republican Senator Manny Diaz Jr., this is him here, its sponsor, said it is not about ignoring the dark parts of American history, but rather ensuring that people are not blamed for sins of the past. And this is, I don't know, he might not, I was going to say Northern Kingdom, but he might be a terror. No individual is inherently racist, sexist, or oppressive. I disagree. Whether consciously or unconsciously, solely by the virtue of his or her race or sex. Who said anything about sex? You see how they try to have this LGBT shit bleed in and concern itself where it's not even, you see? This is what you get, you stupid motherfuckers that march with this LBTQ, whatever else comes after that. This is the game that they were playing. This has nothing to do with them. It says no race is inherently superior to another race. Oh, you never read the scriptures then. What? I thought there were the Israelites, but that's just it. Christianity is about um, doing away with Israel. That's the only reason Christianity, as it's taught, can succeed. All right? That's replacement theology. Secessionism, I think it's called. Anyway, continuing on. Jones said DeSantis is playing to his conservative base by pushing the legislation, but wouldn't go so far as to say DeSantis himself is racist. The governor will continue to go across the country with his racist rhetoric on critical race theory. It's a problem that doesn't exist, Jones said. I think the governor's policies that he continued to push are racist. Continuing on down, that's the bulk of it. I mean, just hey, this is who you're dealing with, and I had characteristics I would like to. Let's go into Genesis. I want to address something real here. I didn't want to, but this is from commentaries. This is Guzik, and it says two nations are in your room. This is Genesis 23, 25 and 23. It says two nations are in your room. What the Most High said is simple. Rebekah would give birth to twins. The twins would each father nations. One shall be greater than the other, and the younger will be greater than the older. All right. Now, this says, talking about Jewish legends, say Jacob and Esau tried to kill each other in the womb. Yes. Okay. It was good versus evil. All right. They were going at it. Those two can't, Also, every time Rebekah went near an idol's altar, Esau would get excited in the womb. And when she would go near a place where the Lord was worshipped, Jacob would get excited. What is that telling you? And you can see that to this day. Although Jake and the church, they have a zeal, as Romans 10 will tell you. Let's go there. Even though they have a zeal. Let's go see. All right. It says, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, but not according to knowledge. Yeah, but they don't understand what's been presented to them is not their power. All right? No, that's your oppressors. That's his. So that's why he gets all excited. He has these universities. All right? He burning the cross in your yard because he thinks that's his. And that, what he's teaching you, that other Jesus, that's his. But that's not ours. That's not yours. All right. So let's go back here. It says, and when she would go near a place where the Lord was worshipped, Jacob would get excited. But see, this is the thing. Look at this world the way it is. They profess that they talking about the God of the Hebrews, but you have to be able to examine it. All right, and once you do, you will find out. Just look at the dollar bill. Look at the architecture here in the district and some of your municipalities around the world, around America. All right, and look at the Greco-Roman architecture. Other things that are influenced by either that or going back to the Egyptians. That's not Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. That's the God of this world. That's idolatry. That's why this world is the way it is. They don't worship the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai. And that's why this world is the way it is. Everything goes. That's why I read this. Jewish legend. When she would get close to an idol's altar, Esau, hey, you get excited in the womb. All right? But when she went up around Yahweh, all right, what? Jacob would get excited. Anything to do with the Most High. All right, letting you know there's a separation. Where they say two nations are in that room. That's why they were going at each other. All right, and his other characteristics right here. It's a weasel. What is a weasel? All right, now we know, uh, we're not talking about the critter. We're talking about characteristics, just like when you say a snake. All right, that's why I got Genesis third chapter. Got a lot of people confused. All right, it's talking about here number 3, a sneaky, untrustworthy, or insincere person. All right, all the more reason why when we always bring up Sirach 12 and 10, never trust thine enemy, and it goes down further. Oh man, and it goes in. I encourage you to read that. And it's talking about what? That's you can use the word here, weasel. All right. This is who think used car salesman. That's the when we reference, just like I said, Genesis third chapter, when he beguiled Eve. All right, a sneaky, untrustworthy, or insincere person. All right, this is who you're dealing with. He passes all these laws. This is to protect his. This is to protect him clearly. All right, he doesn't want people, but it's too late with the internet. All these years, these smartphones, very powerful. All right, with these search engines of today, you really have no excuse not to know that this guy is all about lies. And hell, they created an agency here called the CIA. Like, duh. What have they done all around the world? What are they doing in Kazakhstan now? The same old shit. But people have caught on. The last, I won't put a number on it. I'll just say a few years. A few just meaning more than 3. People are like, no, it's got to be more to this. All right. I'll give them credit for that. They're not just accepting everything like the majority of people out here do. They said, no, it's got to be more to it. All right. It says, Isaiah 10 and 1, it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decree. That's an unrighteous decree. The fuck? And that right grievousness which they have prescribed. To turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people. Something that's as simple as the truth. You would think anyway. No, we can't let them know that. Why? Because Psalms 83, we were never supposed to come together anyway. According to them, they did everything they could to try to keep us from becoming a nation again. Lie upon lie upon lie upon lie. Unrighteous decree upon unrighteous decree upon unrighteous decree. Like I said, it came at us every angle. And now you want to prescribe legislation to protect your funky ass from making anyone feel discomfort because of all the rape, robbery, and murder you did in order to achieve what you have achieved. Ain't that some shit? Hey, so with that, shalom.